What? Torben was stunned. Holding his face, he felt confused. Shouldn't they be reprimanding Dustin at this moment? Why did his uncle slap him instead? You useless fool. Get the hell out if you can't speak properly. Springer's face was stern. He was clearly angry. It was supposed to be a situation where they didn't have to spend any money, but this idiot had managed to raise the price of a pill to 300 million. Dustin would probably ask for even more if they let him continue. Why punish him instead of this damned guy? Spring, you've gone too far. Autumn frowned. Of course, he wasn't happy about his son getting slapped. You shut up too. Spring turned around and glowered. Father's life is hanging by a thread, and we urgently need the medicine to save him. Yet you people are still here arguing. If something happens to father, can you afford the responsibility? Hearing that, the father and son exchanged glances and dared not say another word. The Hill family was known for its martial prowess, and their patriarch, Paul, was a master of Balerno martial arts 3 years ago. Although he had retired now, he still commanded great respect and status in the martial world. Even the current leader would show deference to him. The Hill family stood strong and was known as one of the top 3 families because of Paul's towering presence. If the patriarch were to pass away, the entire Hill family would suffer a devastating blow. Young man, I apologize sincerely. I have failed to teach my people manners. Please don't take it to heart. As long as you can save my father's life, $300 million is not a problem. Spring agreed without hesitation. I'm glad you picked the right choice. Dustin smiled faintly. The Hill family has great wealth and influence. 300 million is nothing to you. Torben narrowed his eyes as a hint of killing intent flashed across them. Yet he controlled himself. Young man, please proceed. Spring forced a smile. All right. Dustin didn't say much. He took out a gamiphone and stuffed it into Paul's mouth. Then he lifted the old man's clothes, took out a silver needle, and pierced 3 key acupoints: the posterior neck acupoint, lower chest acupoint, and stomach acupoint. Then, he flicked his finger. Buzz. The 3 silver needles rapidly spun, and waves of true energy flowed into Paul's body through the needles. What amazing acupuncture skills! Witnessing this scene, Nicholas was greatly astonished. Although he specialized in alchemy, he also had considerable medical knowledge. With his discerning eyes, he could tell that Dustin's acupuncture technique was extraordinary. Although his skills might not surpass Dr. Jeremy, Dustin was almost as good as him. To possess such exquisite acupuncture skills at such a young age. Who exactly was this young man? After administering the needles, Dustin helped Paul up and delivered a strong palm strike to his back. A surge of true energy erupted in Paul's body. Paul tilted his head back and spewed out a mouthful of dark blood. Then his head slumped, and once again. He lost consciousness. All right, the patient is out of danger now. However, the internal injuries have accumulated for a long time. So it will take some time for a complete recovery. After I return, I will prepare some medicine for the patient. Drinking 2 cups every day for about 10 days should lead to a full recovery. Oh, by the way, don't remove the silver needles from the patient's body for another 3 hours. That's all. Now, you can pay up. After a series of instructions, Dustin directly asked for payment. He had come to treat Paul as a favor to Patrick, but he still expected to be compensated for his services. He didn't want to make the trip for nothing. The matter of payment is not an issue, but we need to confirm my father's condition first. Spring signaled to Nicholas with his eyes. Nicholas quickly approached and checked Paul's pulse. Instantly, his eyes widened. How is he? Is there something wrong with my father? Everyone felt anxious upon seeing this. No, Mr. Hill's pulse is very calm, and most of the stagnant blood in his body has been removed. The broken meridians were also remarkably repaired. It's truly amazing, Nicholas exclaimed with delight. The combined effects of the gamiphone and the miraculous acupuncture technique produced such astonishing results. Damn it. You scared me. Can't you just finish your sentence? Torben grumbled angrily. If anything happened to his grandfather, he would have an excuse to execute Dustin on the spot and hold Patrick accountable. The experts from Stonerae Valley have confirmed it. Now, can you rest assured? Dustin replied calmly. It's all thanks to you, young man. We are extremely grateful. Spring expressed his gratitude. You're welcome. You pay me to treat your father anyway. Dustin replied in response. Please go to the living room and have a cup of tea to get some rest. Spring smiled. Then he turned around and said, Autumn, go and withdraw the money for this young man here. Yes. Autumn gave Dustin a deep look before turning to leave. Meanwhile, Dustin followed the servant to the living room. The Hills residence covered a vast area, enveloping a whole mountain. Tall walls surrounded the premises, and numerous villas dotted the landscape. A dozen guards patrolled around the clock. Their security was very strict. It would be nearly impossible for ordinary people to enter. 10 minutes later, Autumn and Torben entered the living room with a check in hand. Young man, this is your reward. Dustin picked up the check and frowned. Did you make a mistake? I asked for 300 million, not 3 million. Of course not. Torben answered arrogantly. Even the experts of Stonerae Valley only charged us 3 million. You're just an unknown doctor from God knows where. You should be grateful that we're willing to pay you this much. I don't care about others, but since we agreed on 300 million, it must be 300 million, not a penny less, Dustin said.